so we got the boards populated with the components. All right, so here we have the power supply regulator, right? The 5-volt regulator, the 2 capacitors mounted on the tag strip, ready to be mounted. We have the relay, right, mounted on the board. The second one as well. And then we have the, this here is the buffer, right, ready to go. And the chassis has, I've drilled out the holes for mounting the different components. So now it's really just a question of sort of wiring it all together. So I think what the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in the standoffs for the relay and for the buffer. So I've got some standoffs over here as well as some screws. Just bring them over. All right. So these are little aluminum standoffs. I've got 2 lengths, one slightly longer than the other to accommodate for the relay, which is a little bit taller. But I'm basically taking some thread lock blue and I'm putting a little droplet of it in one end of the standoff on each one, which will help it from backing out, prevent that from happening. So I'm going to take my screw and just put it through the different holes. So the short one goes for the relay, or excuse me, for the buffer board. So hopefully I can get that on sometime in the next 6 months. This one feels like it's cross-threaded for some reason. I think it is. Let me grab another one. Sometimes you get a component or a part that isn't quite right, right? So that's life. That appears to have had the threads cut improperly, so it was not going on with any kind of predictability. Or am I dealing with a cross-threaded screw? Interesting. That seems to be okay. I think it was just me. As usual, a little pilot error. Okay. Got a little thread locker on my hands, which is nice. Next, we're going to put in the relay board standoffs, which are the longer ones. There we go. One more, all the way over here. Okay, so those are located. So you can sort of see they're in there. And that'll just allow me to place the boards sort of where I want to. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the leads out. Right? That looks good. I'm going to put the leads out first. And then place everything in there. So I'm going to put this, let's put that there so it's handy. And we can start, let's start with the power supply. So I'm going to grab the little board here, with it, or the solder tag strip. I'm going to secure it down to the bench. I have all these little holes in my bench, as you can see, so I'll use them. screw it down. Gonna get some wire here. Get that in play. And I'm gonna start, grab my solder. And we'll start taking this all to task. So I'm gonna do the ground first. So I'm gonna use a little black for the ground. That's the center. I'm going to wrap it around. There we go. And this one will go up to the jack. So, I'm just going to guess for right now how much I'm going to need. About that much. Get one more. And we're actually going to need a few of these ground points. This is going to be our main ground here, right? It's really difficult to see with very low lighting in here. Kind of drives me nuts to get this camera That's the problem. I got a little thing caught in there. I might have to turn on the light. Yeah. I'd have to. Well, we got that one anyway. So this one's going to go over to the buffer board, so figure maybe about this much. Then we need two more. That will go, one will go to each relay. So this one's probably got to be about this long. And the final ground for the second relay. And then I can get some solder on there. There we go. Looks good. Right, and this one's got to go to that relay, so somewhere around there is good. Okay, so those are our grounds. Get those out of the way. Grab a drink. I will run the regulated output voltage, the 5-volt output, right, which is on the left side, the left terminal. So we're going to stretch that around. Right, and this is just for the relay, but this is going to go up to the foot switch. So figure somewhere around here. And we'll need one more for the second switch. Get a little more off of that. life a little easier. Okay. Cut this one off. And then we have to have the input, right, which will go up to the terminal or the input, 2.1 millimeter jack. That'll be located as the power entry. So it's going to be fed with 9 volts. Regulated down to 5 volts for the relays and used at 9 volts for the buffer. So we only need 1 for this side. Although we could, yeah, we could do it that way. So 1 to go up to that and the other one to come down. So we'll cut off about that much, so that'll supply the relay, rather the I keep saying relay when I meant to say buffer. Always doing that. So that'll supply the buffer. All right, and this right here will supply, will be the entry point. All right, so the yellows will be our 9 volt supply, the reds will be our 5 volt supplies. All right. There we go, and we'll also attach our indicator lamp to these terminals as well. There we go. Probably needs to be somewhere around here. All right, so this one's ready to go. So I can unscrew it. All right. Next we can do, put that over there, we could do the relay boards, right? So for the relay boards, I'll use some white. So the first thing I want to do is join the top 2 positions here with a jumper. Go across, right? So I'm going to feed it from underneath. If I could see, there we go. Right. See if we can balance that. There we go. Okay, then I'm going to run it over here. Use the smaller gauge solder, I think. Yeah, I think that does a better job. Okay. Trim off this little bit of lead here. All right. Okay. So now we're going to do the same to this one. I don't know how exciting it is to watch the soldering, but maybe someone finds it exciting. It's kind of like happy little relays. Just gonna put a little solder right there. Some happy little solder, all shiny. Happy solder just sitting there. There we go. Okay, so these relays are ready. Now we're going to need to do a little bit of something to drink. So now we'll do the power supply entry point. Right, so that's the red, which is the 5 volt. Okay, and that just has to go over to the switch, so it doesn't have to be very long. Oh, we're at 15 minutes. All right, you know what I think might be a good idea to do? I think maybe I'll just do some wiring off camera, and then we'll come back once I've got a lot of it done, and we'll start putting it inside the box, right? All right, so when we come back, I'll have a lot more wires coming out of these things. So we'll be right back.